I am excited to be here and excited to engage all of you. What's up, Inspire Nation? Y'all have embraced that. I love it. I love it. Inspire Nation, we got some work to do tonight. It's going to be good. And yeah, so like the video, share the video. Vacation was okay. One down, two more to go. I'm heading out of town in the morning for number two. Um, so it was just fast. I'm exhausted, but hopefully I'll get some rest this week. And then I got a long one starting late next week for 9 days. So I can't wait. Hey, y'all do me a favor. City, state, country. Let me know where you're tuned in from. City, state, country. If you are not from America, country. If you're from America, city and state. But let's like the video, share the video. Let's get going. This is going to be a lot of fun. Tamara Forte said Machete Monday is what we're calling this tonight. Hey, it's been a while. I hope everything is okay with you, Athena. Thank you so much. Flint, Michigan, Baltimore. Yes, Adrena, it's me. Denver, Atlanta. See you all soon, Atlanta. I'll be in Atlanta this week. Harrisburg, Nashville, Dallas, Madison, Miramar, Greensboro, Jersey, Nashville, Pittsburgh. Thank you so much. LA, Rochester, San Diego, California. All right, Columbia, Birmingham, Alabama, Wilmington, Jackson, Georgia. Come on, Facebook and YouTube. Where are you? Good. Alameda, Traverse City, Michigan, Atlanta again, Alameda again, Kansas City, thank you, San Francisco, Atlanta again, South Carolina, Sharon, Richmond, VA, Malaysia, thank you so much. Wow. Baton Rouge, San Francisco, Dallas, Toronto. Hope to be in Toronto soon. LA, again, Inglewood, thank you so much. Jackson, Baltimore, Athens, Georgia, Connecticut, Detroit. Thank you so much, Nikki. Toronto. Thank you, Houston. Thank you, Michonne. It's good to see you. Yes, like the video, share the video. We're going to get right into it. I've got to hit the road in the morning, heading out of town for holiday number 2. And I'm pretty excited about it. Hey, Jess. Upper Marlboro, Maryland, New Jersey, Trotwood, Houston. Thank you. Yes, working on the hat line. It is being finalized and really excited about it. It's going to be great. So can't wait to share that with you. Listen, I need everybody to like the video and share the video now. We're on all of our networks. And tonight's going to be incredibly powerful. Tamara Forte said this was Machete Monday. She came up with that name. It wasn't me. It was Machete Monday, and she might be right because it's gonna be an interesting night. I'll say that. We need to have a serious conversation about parenting and just a real talk. I got notes, but parenting is something I'm very passionate about. Yes, you did it. Happy retirement to you, my friend. I wish I could have gotten there. I actually had to fill in for my father and couldn't make it to New Orleans. And so I'm very happy for you. And I know I'll be back in New Orleans soon and can't wait to see you when I do. So proud of you, Miss Garrett. Thank you so much. This is going to be good. Like the video, share the video. I want to get right into this. If you have not listed your city and state, do that, or country. And if you are from outside of America, list the city or list the country that you're tuned in from. And let's get ready to get into it tonight. All right. We've got a couple of announcements real quick. And then we're going to get right into this stuff. Oh, I got a big announcement at the end of the live tonight. It's huge. Two huge announcements. One of them you already know about. But I have a huge group work announcement. Huge. And I can't wait to share it at the end. Thank you. Lafayette, Plainsboro, Atlantic City, New York. Hey, righteous girl. Um, yeah, it's a huge announcement, and I'm excited. Nola, thank you. The loveliest Leo, thank you. I appreciate you. Sent me a DM. All right, I'll check it out. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get to them. Doing my best. Hey, Shahara, Knoxville, Tennessee. I want to get into this. Let's get into it. If you haven't liked the video, shared the video, I want you to do that right now. And let's walk through a couple of quick reminders. And then we're going to get right into what's going on. All right. Michigan, not sure, but definitely not out of the question. Michigan is certainly a place I want to do a talk at one point. And so they are on the list, my friend. And hope you will come when I do. Listen, like the video, share the video. Let's get these numbers up tonight. I would love to get up to 700 tonight. That song is just an instrumental by a gentleman by the name of Chris Morton, and it's a good talking music. So if I ever get in a mode tonight, I'll just hit the button. I think I'm going to get on in a mode tonight because tonight is just going to be wild, and I'm excited. All right, real quick. Let me thank all of my Patreon and IG subscribers for allowing me. I appreciate you, Stefan's mom. It means a lot. For allowing me to go live on these consecutive Mondays. I've had to switch my schedule just temporarily because of holidays. And so I will probably be live again next Monday, and then I won't be live again. I won't be live again for like another 2 weeks because I'm going to be gone 9 or 10 days. So we will be alive again next Monday with another very powerful topic. I may talk about that later tonight. And but this is going to be great. So do me a favor, like the video, share the video. Thank you, Patreon and IG subscribers, for your flexibility because Monday nights belong to them. I typically go live 60 minutes with all of my subscribers. And so if you haven't subscribed to Patreon or IG, subscribe. I would highly recommend you do that because we're really ramping up some things there. Support the show. You can see the way, you should see the ways to support on the screen. Thank you. Shout out to all of my moderators for doing what they do. They are Keish, April. You guys are just really outstanding, and really wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without them. And so thankful for them. And so certainly support the show. You'll see the ways to support the show on the screen, and we would absolutely really appreciate that. You may see a little salad icon that goes in there. Your support is towards gifting me a salad. And so that's what that's all about. And so if you see people dropping salads in the comments, hopefully they're dropping support in one of those mechanisms as well. I feel like I'm leaving something. Oh, yeah, of course. In the event we see any crazy comments, I know last week, I don't even remember the woman's name, but God bless her. In the event that you see any trolls in the comments, you might start to see this eagle looking icon that simply means, yes, it was Barbara. See, April, you're trying to get me to act up. Miss Barbara, because she was looking for Shirley. If you see a bunch of eagles in the comments, it means that we fly high above birds. And so you don't have to entertain ignorant comments. Just start putting eagles in the comments, and Inspire Nation, we always catch the hint, and you're going to see more support and people throwing eagles in there with you. All right. So just again, not a fan of being bullied. I know what it's like to be bullied younger. I survived it, and everybody doesn't always survive that. And so just keep that in mind. Let's make sure that we are mindful of that, and that we do not allow bullies to do what they do on our watch. Okay. All right. So this is going to be really good, and I'm really excited to have you. And I want to get into this. Put in the topic tonight's, put in the comments rather, tonight's topic, and we're talking about the damage of poor parenting. All right. Put that in the comments. The damage of poor parenting. You should have your journal tonight. I hope you have a journal. If this is your first time, Doc, I didn't know I needed a journal. Grab us a piece of paper. All right. Do not come empty handed. Grab something to write with. As always, you're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler for the rest of this week. The damage of poor parenting is what we're talking about. And Tamara Forte, I don't know if you're tuned in yet. I've got to give her credit. because she said Thursday when I said this topic, she said, Doc, you might as well call it Machete Monday. And she's right. This is going to be hard. And if you're a parent, married, single parent, married parent, if you are an aspiring parent, um, I've got um, I've got commentary for everybody tonight, and it's just going to be really free. So just brace yourself, get something to drink, and let's let's get ready to work. All right. Here's the thing. I want to get right into this. Let me get that out of the screen. Good there. All right. Here's the thing. And let's start here because one of the things that I know, I've said this so many times, that the reality is bad parenting is what keeps me in business. I'm just being honest. Bad parenting is what keeps me in business because the reality is a lot of the things that my clients who are adults deal with as adults are the result of bad parenting. Okay. And that's just the bottom line. You don't really have to like it, but it's just a fact. And so when we get parenting right, we by default end up getting a lot of different things right. And so parenting is critical. And when you become a parent, or if you desire to become a parent, it is single-handedly one of the most critical decisions that require a lot of responsibility from you that you will ever take on. And so I want to talk about this because parenting, this is your first note, record it. Again, you're going to be so smart all week long. Record this now. Parenting is the home of attachment. Put it in the comments. Parenting is the home of attachment. Parenting, whether it's from your mama, your daddy, if you are a foster child, if your grandparents raised you, whomever. Parenting is the home of attachment. That is where bonding, attachments are formed through bonds. Our understanding of bonding is formed through childhood. In fact, the research specifically says that from the ages of 3 to 8 is when most personalities are developed, right? Our personalities are developed. It makes sense. By 3, you're talking pretty good. 3 to 8 are those formative years. By 8, you are moving into a space of independence. You don't want mom and dad to do it. You want to do it, etc. And so what a child consumes from the age of 3 to 8 is critical. It's critical, right? And so parenting is the home of attachment because attachments rather are formed through the bonds we experience as children, which means the extent to which a child forms healthy bonds as a child is the extent to which that child is likely to experience healthy living, healthy connections in the future. Now, I want to be clear here. This isn't like anything else, a perfect science. You can grow up with both parents who are both healthy, healed, whole, nurturing, supportive, and still grow up to be Freddy Krueger. I'm not saying that this is a perfect science because at the end of the day, while forming these healthy bonds as a child does do a lot to almost guarantee you a good foundation, none of that trumps free choice. Okay? None of this trumps free choice, which is why I have a lot of clients who come from well-to-do homes, well-to-do parents, and their life was chaos, not because of their folks, but because they made critical decisions as they got older. All right. So before parents, I start coming down on you, let me say to you that if you are doing everything you can as a parent, and that child grows up to be, crazier than 2 left shoes, you got to rest in knowing you did your part. You got to rest in doing your part. I don't care what your religious affiliation is. You all know I have clients from across the globe, across all religions. But my faith says this: train up a child in the way you would have them to go. When they get old, they will not depart. It doesn't mean they might not stray. It does not mean they might not do some crazy stuff. Your job is to train them. That's it. That's all. Your job is to train them. Okay. Now, again, if you're doing your part, they grow and they become something else. You've got to be careful not to wear that as a badge of dishonor when you know you've done your part. I have a lot of clients who are struggling with their children, not because they're a bad parent, but because their children just made some bad choices. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this, why this is the case, as I kind of get into the talk tonight, because the reality is, while I can't blame parents for this, and I don't want to get too far, not yet, it is important that we understand the importance of balanced parenting. You cannot be a parent that is not balanced. And I'll talk about this. I haven't even gotten to that challenge yet. I'll get to this. But if you raise a child on either side of the pendulum too far, you're going to end up with a version of that child as an adult you probably don't want. The goal has to be to raise balanced children. Record it. Your goal is to raise balanced children. Balanced children. Not children you fuss at every day, because that ain't balanced. Not children you're always screaming at every day. That ain't balanced. But not children that get everything they want every day either. The goal is to have balanced children. And let me tell you what's not an excuse. What is not an excuse is, oh, I had a rough childhood. I want my kid to get everything that they need and everything that they want. Because see, when that happens, you then try to live vicariously through your children and you end up raising brats. And we'll talk about that in a second. The goal is to raise balanced children. And that's balancing everything. That's balancing everything. Some of us as parents only support children in things that are important to us instead of supporting them sometimes in things that are important to them too. Now I'm going to say something off the bat. Y'all not going to like this. You ready? As a third generation PK, I have to praise my mom and dad because as busy as they were as parents, yes, we had to go to church. We had to do that stuff. But let me tell you something. As busy as they were just as active with us in our sports, other athletics, community engagement activities, clubs, organizations. They were just as balanced with us in those areas. Thank you, Tia, for the quick salad. Just as balanced with us in those areas as they were based on the religious background they tried to give us. For all of you folks that only take your kids to church or to the temple or to the synagogue, and you don't support them nowhere else, you out of order. I'm going to take this a step further. A big reason why many of you are turned off by religion is because your parents raised you and all they gave you was religion. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't see no churches now. Oh, especially the Christians. Boy, they going to light me up on this, boy. Ooh, I know it's coming. Never in my face, but always behind my back. But I know it's coming. You didn't even take them on a vacation. And when you did take them on vacation, guess where y'all went? To convocation. Convocation is not vacation. That's all you Christians, because Christians know what convocation is. Vacation Bible school is not vacation. Taking them to the temple or the mosque for 6 days is not vacation. And I got to give my mom and dad credit. Leading the church, but they took us on our own vacation. And even if we couldn't go nowhere fancy at that time because we were little, all this stuff, even if we couldn't go nowhere fancy, they didn't take us to no youth retreat and was like, here's your vacation. Youth retreat ain't no vacation. I know, yeah, I know. Dr. Zeb, you're such a bad guy. Oh well. And then you wonder why when your kids get old, they get turned off from church. And it ain't got nothing to do with God. I tell people this. Y'all be trying to make it like folks got a problem with God. Folks don't have a problem with God. People have a problem with you. I have clients right now that will tell they ain't got no problem with God. They got a problem with you. And I'm telling you, if you're a parent or you plan to be one, you better get some balance in your life. You better get some balance in your life. Your kids need to know what you serve, but they also need to know life. They need to know sports, clubs, organizations, and don't make them wear jean skirts to the beach. I might as well just log off because this is gonna be bad. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be bad. I was telling somebody, client of mine, and I was talking about this. I was in Dominican Republic. This was maybe 3 years ago, and I went parasailing for the first time. Y'all support the show because it's about to get bad. I went parasailing for the first time, and when Sean got on, what's up, Coach Sean? When I got on the boat, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 of us. There was a father with his son and daughter from Colombia. There was a husband and wife. They were pastors, and there was me by myself. And they were pastors, not because I asked. I was just on the boat. The couple was talking to themselves. The people from Colombia, they were nice. They were friendly. Spoke to everybody. I spoke to everybody. But people were just kind of doing their own thing. And then I overheard the pastor talking because he had his hand around his wife. And we were on this boat going way out so we can parasail. But I noticed she had on the jean skirt, a long sleeve shirt with a swimsuit under it. And he said, sweetheart, I'm just so glad we were able to have this anniversary together. I love you. I'm just so proud of us. I think they were celebrating like 10 or 11 years. I remember him saying, the church is going to be so proud. I'm going to be so proud of the church because I know they're running everything well while we're gone. And I'm just sitting there, and I wanted to just tap him on his leg and say, hey, bro, take that jean skirt off. Now, I know y'all don't like this. I don't care. I felt, and she had the nerve to be on the boat doing this. We all bouncing because of the waves. And she like this. Honey, why don't you take that jean skirt off and that long sleeve shirt and show your husband what you got? That's your husband. I don't want you. And kids grow up with no spiritual balance because parents don't teach it. And it doesn't make sense. Now, I don't care if you got the perfect body or whatever body you got is yours. And if you on vacation with your husband, your wife, you better take that jean skirt off. Y'all don't have to like me. I don't care. Support the show so I can get a salad. You better take that jean skirt off. So we got to teach balance. And this is the problem because attachments are formed through bonds. Children form attachments through the bonds they have with their caretakers. And so we've got to, especially between the ages of 3 and 8, work to show them balance. He wasn't any worse because when we got back to the island, he's getting in the water. I'm not making this up, y'all. I'm not making this up. She has her jean skirt on. She sits on the edge. She's got her legs flopping in the water. He gets in the water with white linen pants over his swim trunks. I'm not making this up. Y'all think I'm making this up. I'm not making this up. And when those kids get older, those kids become the candidates for having zero balance in their lives. I'm not making this up, y'all. I'm not making this up. So the first time I went parasailing, I'll never forget it. We got to stop this. So let's talk about it, because this is going to come down to healing. And I'm not just talking about mental and emotional healing. I'm talking about mental, emotional, and spiritual healing. If you're going to effectively parent, you need to heal first. And let me give you a note for your notebook, because I told y'all this is Machete Monday. Thank you, Tamara. You ready? If you're not healed enough to parent, stop smashing. Some of you need to go celibate until you heal. Because if you are not healed enough to parent, you don't need none. What you doing it for? Doc, why is that a big deal? Why are you all in my business? Let me tell you why. That's right, simply Marlene. She said, my husband will see all the Lord has blessed me with. Absolutely, all and then some. When you go on vacation with your husband, you don't need to pack but two things: bathing suits and dresses. That's it. And get the smallest ones you can find. We don't teach people how to stay together. We teach people how to get together. Oh, this is good. But we don't teach people how to stay together. That's the problem. That's why the divorce rate is not absent of the church. It ain't absent of the temple. It ain't absent of the mosque. Everybody got the same rates, because we teach people how to come together, but we don't teach people how to stay together. Fellas, take them socks off in the pool, take them long pants off, and put you some swim trunks on. And if you got a six-pack or you got a no-pack, take your shirt off and enjoy your wife. I meant what I said. If you, thank you, Phyllis, for the salad. I appreciate it, because it's going slow tonight. Y'all mad. I ain't even got started yet. You wait till I get to these 5 points. Y'all gonna beg me to stop. If you are not healed enough to parent, stop smashing. You should not be having any kind of sex, and you ain't healed. Thank you, Teresa. I know this ain't gonna make sense to y'all. Listen, put it in the comments really quickly. Levels, all capital letters. Levels. This ain't for low-level thinking. This ain't for simple-minded folks. This is a talk for people who are trying to go to a different level. Levels. If you're not healed mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I could even throw physically and financially in there if I'm being honest. Because if you don't have your body and your life together, you ain't going to be healthy enough to be around for your kids. If you ain't got no money, you sure going to be in trouble. You need to heal in all 5 of those areas before you even think about smashing. And if you ain't, sit this one out. You heal, you can get all you want. You heal, you get all you want. But until then, sit it out. You know why? Because when you engage in smashing without healing, you create generations of dysfunction. Are y'all writing? Because the salads ain't flying. What's wrong? Support the show. If you smash before you heal, you will literally create generations of dysfunction. And many of you are calling the curses with your children generational curses that God did, but really you did. You blaming their dysfunction on God, ain't got nothing to do with him. You should not have even been smashing if you weren't healed enough to conceive. I'm talking to men and women. But Doc, Doc, I'm coming to you, Doc, because I feel like there's a generational curse in my family, and I just want to heal so I can break the curse. Well, tell me about the curse. Well, Doc, I was a little wild out there, and then I had 2 or 3 kids, and then just things just felt, oh, okay. So this ain't no generational curse. You weren't healed enough, and you should not have even been smashing in the first place. But now you want God, Buddha, Allah, whatever you serve, to fix something He never created. We quick to call stuff generational curses when we ought to call stuff behavioral curses. Most of this stuff ain't no generational curse. It's behavioral curses. And many of you are blaming God for stuff you are responsible for. I know y'all don't like this. I don't care. So I'm telling you now, I hope you feel convicted that if you don't feel like you've worked on those 5 areas, what are the 5 areas of healing, y'all? Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. If you don't feel like you worked on those 5 areas of healing, I need you to go on and box that up for a while. Box it up. My clients get so frustrated with me. Doc, you telling me I need to just stop having the S word and I need to just put yes, you do. You do. Because how you going to heal and you penetrating or being penetrated at the same time? It's hard to heal when that's going on at the same time. Now, if you want to have kids, I would suggest that you heal first. I would suggest that you take the car and put it in the garage, polish it up, and let it sit there. Celibacy, oh, I'm telling you from experience, celibacy is golden when you heal it. You know why? Because it clears your mind. And it keeps you from making stupid mistakes with stupid people. So I'm serious. You're not healing up, the parents stop smashing. Y'all put it all up. You don't need none. You don't deserve none. Just wait. Yeah, it's gonna stay up if y'all support the show, because y'all ain't supporting right now. I'm gonna take it down. I don't think y'all value this. Y'all gonna really be mad though when I go through these 5 challenges in modern parenting. Oh, it's gonna get, oh God, it's gonna be a bloodbath. I'm just getting warmed up. I'm about to get into it right now. You don't deserve none if you ain't healed. Next time, ladies, he asks you for some, you think about giving it up, ask him, are you healed? He gonna say, healed from what, baby? Are you healed? Because I'm telling you, if not, you ain't gonna do nothing but conceive and create more dysfunction. And that's what many of y'all doing. If you know you don't have yourself together mentally, emotionally, and spiritually at least, why would you engage in that space? Why? 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 Like why? I like what Charla said on Facebook. I'm glad I happened to look down and see the comments. She said, Charla Bird said, because celibacy requires discipline, which most people don't have, and you don't. You don't have no discipline, you ain't got no self-control. And I'm going to tell you, when you have discipline and self-control, we can smell it on you. You got discipline and self-control. We can smell that on you. Period. Support the show. No, they're not teaching this in churches. They're not teaching it in churches. They're not teaching it in synagogues. They're not doing none of that. And meanwhile, you go to convocations, and you do all of this stuff, and you be there for weeks, and the hotel rooms be hotter than the streets. Because you won't have a conversation with folks. But I'm not going to get on that tonight because, oh God, y'all will really try to cancel me. I had a friend tell me, a very prominent convocation, said, listen, Doc, I want you to come hang out one time with him. I said, oh, I'll come one time. I ain't never been yet. I want you to come hang out. He said, but I'm going to tell you, when the service is over, you better run to your room. I said, why? He said, man, because if you don't, you're going to get dragged somewhere else. Happens. And young people become so hungry for that because we don't want to talk to them about living a balanced life. That doesn't mean you're giving them a license to go out here and smash, but it does mean that you're taking them on vacations other than convocation. Y'all ain't gotta like it. I don't care. Because you can say what you want to. Pregnancy ain't skipping the temple. Teenage pregnancy out of wedlock ain't skipping the temple. It ain't skipping the mosque. It ain't skipping the church. I don't know what churches y'all go to. It ain't skipping that. And if it is, it's because they plan B in them. Y'all don't want me to get started on this. You just don't. You just don't. I have a sister. My sister was pregnant out of wedlock, and I watched my father and how he covered her, how our family covered her. And I'm very passionate about this because we have really ruined, especially women's perspectives on God and the type of loving God he is when women get pregnant without a husband. And I'm not going to get into this right here because I really could go down a rabbit hole that's going to make some of y'all pass out. Even down to making women come in front of a church and apologize to the church for getting pregnant. Meanwhile, the guy that knocked her up is on the drums. He on the drums, she up there crying. The deacons on the front row salivating because they want some too. Now y'all acting like y'all ain't seen. I've seen this. I've seen this. And that's nasty work. I've seen it, and it's nasty work. Ain't no grace in that. Anyway, let me move on. I guess I'm going to move on. Y'all not supporting the show. Y'all must be mesmerized. Y'all ain't supported the show one time. It's the truth. I'm not making this stuff up. And you damage, we ruin kids because those kids come from those cultures where there is no balance at all. I'm just grateful, man. My parents did not raise me that way. And I thank God for them every single day. I really do. And I'm telling you, if you are a parent, I don't care if you can't afford to take them on a plane and fly them across the country, out the country. I don't care if you ain't got but enough money to get in the car and drive 60 minutes away and get a hotel and act like you in a different state. Do it. And do it at least once a year. Find the money. But create some balance in your kids. All right. Woo! I'm telling you, man, I've seen it. I've seen it. She got the cry. She's got the cry. She can't do nothing no more. Meanwhile, the dude that did it, he's still on the organ. He's still doing what he do. Y'all give your kids some balance and take them somewhere. Take them a trip. You ought to, if you got kids, you ought to figure out a way to take them on a trip, at least a weekend trip, at least once a year. Everybody got money sometimes. Doc, I ain't got no money. Yes, you do. You got enough money to get in that car and go an hour away. You ain't got to go far. Get in the car, drive out. And especially when you got little kids don't know the difference. Little kids don't know that. They get a little bit older, it's a little different. But little kids, they happy to go somewhere. Well, Doc, I took them somewhere. I took them to church. I took them to the mosque. That's it. It ought to be something you're doing every year. Let me give you 5. I got to talk about this all night. I want to give you 5 top challenges in modern parenting. But hey, TikTok, we got 36K. Let's get this up to 50 real quick. Come on. That'll get some of y'all time to support because y'all ain't right. Y'all not supporting. Come on, TikTok, hit like. I'm going to give you 5. I could give you so much more, but I'm going to give you 5 of the top challenges I've seen in modern parenting. And it's going to be wicked. Let's talk about it. 5 of the top challenges I've seen in modern parenting. Support the show. Y'all support yet? Come on. Hit that Cash App. Hit that Zelle. Let's work. This is going to be good. Hey, TikTok, double tap. We need 10K more. Let me get some water because I need it. Yeah, you ain't got to do a lot for kids. You don't have to do a lot for kids. And then when they get older and they don't want to do nothing with you because you never did nothing with them. Thank you, Tiara. Because you never did nothing with them, then you want to be mad at them. You know, you don't ever want to spend time. Well, you never spent time with them when you were young and able. Now you old and you want them to sit down somewhere. No. You have to implant and instill in them that same. You have to instill in them balance the same way you instill in them your religion and everything, your faith and everything else you do. Sean, I appreciate you. Oh, I ain't cooking yet. I'm really about to cook. It's about to get brutally ugly. Come on, TikTok. I need 3 more thousand likes real quick. Double tap. Kiki is working. Kiki, I appreciate you. Kiki be working every week. I appreciate you, Kiki. Thank you so much for sharing the live and getting it out there. Y'all, my TikTok likes, my TikTok follows went up 1,000 last week. I'm shadow banned. I had videos that were still catching the wave, and I'm shadow banned. Ain't that something? Y'all better leave people alone who are in their purpose. All right. Top 5 challenges in modern dating. There's a lot. This is just my opinion. Thank you, Camille. I appreciate you for the Topo Chico. I didn't have time to go get any today. This is just my top 5. This is not everybody's. It's not all inclusive. There could be so much more, okay? You ain't crazy, Kiki. You own it. But this is just my top 5, all right? Top 5 challenges in modern parenting. Y'all right? Y'all record this. Number 1, the desire to be their friend. Hope you got your Kleenex. The desire to be their friend. One of the top challenges I see in modern parenting is many of you are more interested in being your kids' friends than being your kids' parents. And you out of order. Breaking news. You are their parent first and everything else second. I don't care. I don't care what Oprah, what nobody told you. You're their parent first and everything else second. Well, Doc, I gotta be nice with them. Doc, I gotta build a bond of friendship first. No, you don't. No, you need to build a bond of parenthood first. And all that other stuff will come when they really learn to appreciate what you're teaching them. You gotta be their parent first. And part of this includes Having a healthy balance. Y'all writing this stuff down? Having a healthy balance of love and correction. Yes, love your kids. You never heard me not one time say love your kids. Love your kids, but you got to correct your kids. And let me tell you something. You do not love a child you don't correct. You do not love a child you don't correct. Oh, boy. No, you don't. I don't care. No, you don't love a child you don't correct. Well, Doc, no, I didn't have my parents growing up, Doc. I just want little Johnny. I want little Susie to have everything she want, he want. You don't love a child you don't correct. And if you're not correcting your child, you don't love them. I don't care who they are and who you are. And that's the problem. So many of y'all are so busy being friends that you ain't correcting. Let me tell you something. When you so much your kid's friend, it becomes nearly impossible to correct them. Some of you actually allow your kids to call you by your first name. I'm about to get in trouble. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Doc, that's a Southern thing. No, that's a manners thing. Oh, yes, you do. I was in the store. What's today? Monday. I was in the store Saturday after I got off group work. Went and got some things. Oh, they doing it everywhere. I went in the store to get some stuff to grill out. If you saw my story, I grilled out a little bit yesterday. I don't have time to just really relax. I had some time yesterday. Relax. Was really preparing for things I'm going to announce later in this broadcast. 2 very exciting things. And was just in the line. Little girl couldn't have been no more than maybe 8 or 9. Who looked at her mama and said, "Hey, Jackie, can I please have these chips?" Girl couldn't have been no more than 8 or 9. Looked right up at her. "Hey, Jackie, can I have these chips?" And the mama said, No, baby, you can't have them. Come on, Ma. Jackie, please. No, that wasn't her aunt. She said, "Come on, Ma." She was literally going back and forth between Ma and Jackie. And many of y'all do this. You let your kids call you by your first name. Let me tell you some other stuff you do. Well, this is about to get bad. You let your kids call by your first name. Those of you with grown kids, you know what you do? You club with your kids. Uh-oh. What would I have done? My kids would never call me by my first name. What's your daddy's name, Daddy? Yeah. Oh, some of you go to the club with your grown kids. And there is no greater level of nasty work than to see a 40-year-old in the club with their 22-year-old exchanging drinks and doing the percolator. Some of you drink with your kids. Oh boy, I know, Doc. How dare you judge me, Doc? That's the problem. We need to bring back judgment and shame. And a client say this to me Friday, and it was powerful, and she was absolutely right. She said, "Doc, the reason why I like you, Doc, because you bring back judgment and shame. We need to bring back judgment and shame. Y'all have gotten so used to doing whatever you want to do in front of your kids and in front of anybody else that you have lost all sight of judgment and shame and conviction, where you literally think stuff that's crazy is acceptable. I'm telling you, I don't care if your kids are old enough to drink or they're not. If you are doing that in front of your kids, you are out of order. They ain't gonna like it. I don't care. That's why my support low tonight. I'm gonna take this live down because y'all ain't support. I'm gonna take it down. Y'all not supporting. It don't make no sense. But this what happens when you get the truth, and we just get warmed up. Let me take it a step further. You ready? When there's no established difference between you and them, they won't know how to handle you. Let me say that slow, because I need you to record that. When there is no established difference between you as the parent and them as the kid, they won't know how to handle you. They won't address you appropriately. I'm good and grown. I wish I would call my dad Zebedee. I wish I would call my mom Patricia. Hey, Pat. Really? And that's because there should be a difference between you and your kids. I'm going to talk about this in the second challenge a lot more. There should be a difference between y'all. They don't know how to handle you. And guess what? Guess what? I don't know why y'all asking me crazy questions. What would you do? That's not relevant to me. I raise my kids. Y'all need to raise y'all's. Look, because they don't know a difference. Thank you, Monday. I appreciate you. Because you don't know the difference, because there is no established difference. This was the note. When there is no established difference, y'all recording this? When there is no established difference between you and your kids, they won't know how to handle you. And this is why you having a hard time raising them. I got a better one than that. This is why can't nobody else correct your kids either. Because let's just keep it 100. If you can't correct your kids, how the teacher gonna correct them? If you can't tell your kids how to act, how the principal gonna tell your kids how to act? And you know what some of you do? Some of you go to the school and try to fight the teacher for correcting a kid that you won't correct. To end up on World Star looking stupid, fighting a teacher over a kid you won't even correct yourself. I'm telling y'all, we living in ghetto times. We are living in ghetto times. And we'll have the nerve to go up there and say, this my kid, they mines. They mines. You're not going to touch my kids. They mines. With an S. We're living in ghetto times. You ain't got to like it. I don't care. I come from a family of educators. I'm not making this up. If I have any teachers on this line, tell me when I get it wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, teachers, if you're on the line. I'm not making this up. I come from a family of educators. My father's the #1 school superintendent in the state of Virginia. I'm not lying about none of this. And yet you want, and then have the nerve to want to fight the teacher, argue with the teacher, cuss out the teacher, because they ain't got no good grades. They don't know how to act. They get rolled up for bad. It's ridiculous. And you ain't raising them either. And don't get me started coming up to the school with a bonnet on your head. Don't get me started. Either you got a bonnet on your head or he walking up there with his pants halfway down his butt and want to try to attack the teachers and the principals because little Johnny not acting right. Look what little Johnny deal with every day. Yeah, we got an education system that's got some challenges. But y'all, that a broken education system is not as big as this broken parenting system. If you fix parenting, you're gonna fix a lot of education. Breaking news. If you fix parenting, you fix education. But y'all don't want to be no parents. You want to be cool. You want little Johnny to like you. I tell my kids all the time, you don't have to like me ever. And I know y'all ain't bold enough to say that to your kids. I have amazing kids. If you met my kids, smart, intelligent, mannerable, well spoken, just brilliant kids. But they know I don't play no games with them. You have to like me. But when you get older, you're going to think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's my job. And the reality is, you can't correct what you act like. Would y'all put that in the comments in all capital letters? You can't correct what you act like. When you act like them, how you going to correct them? I'm telling you, some of you parents ought to be ashamed of the hard time you give these teachers, police. You give all these people a hard time over your kid. But there was a day where the neighborhood used to actually raise us. I grew up at a time where my mom and daddy weren't the only ones that could tell me something to do. If I was outside and out of pocket, the next door neighbor could do it. God bless her soul, Ms. Martin. We used to think Mrs. Martin was the meanest thing. Ms. Martin didn't play no games. But we was outside acting up, and Ms. Martin came out of her house and said something to us. I wish I would say something back to her. No, y'all let your kids talk back to adults. I mean, they literally sass adults. And then when the adult says something to you, instead of getting your kid, you try to fight the adult. You literally try to fight the adult who's trying to help you do your job. No, this kind of stuff can't go viral, because if it does, then people are going to start acting like they got some sense. That's why I would need everybody on here to just hit the share button. Come on, IG, hit the share button. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, hit the share button. This ought to go viral, because if you learn how to parent, then all of a sudden education system will change. Juvenile system will change. A whole lot of change. Y'all, what's the result of a desire to be their friend? What kind of result does this have on a child? Because for every challenge I give you, I'm going to give you a result. What's the result of a parent desiring to be the child of their friend? Here's the result: an unhealthy relationship with authority. Some of you have an unhealthy relationship with authority because your parents were more your friends than they were your parents. Oh, that's church worthy. I ain't seen no churches. I see some salads. Where the salads at? Come on. Some of you have an unhealthy relationship with authority because your parents were more your friends than your parents. And when you raise your kids as more their friends than their parents, they're going to grow up with an unhealthy relationship with authority. Remember, I told you this. Make sense? All right. Second big challenge in modern parenting. I'm giving you 5. We almost done. The second big challenge that I've seen in modern parenting is what I call priority setting. Let's talk about it. Priority setting. You know, I could have stayed on number 1 a little bit longer. I could have talked about those of you that let your kids hit you. Some of y'all got kids that you literally let your kids hit you, especially the little ones. They 3 and 4 and 5, and you hit them, they hit you back. They don't get what they like, they start swinging on you. Where was I? I was somewhere. I think I was out of the country. And a little kid showed off in the airport. I was in DFW. Kid showed off in DFW. And the parent took something out of his hand that he grabbed from the store, took it out of his hand and said, you know, you can't have that. It wasn't me. And that kid started hitting that parent. hitting her. And she just walked on off. And I said, that day, y'all would have been reading about Doc in the paper. Dr. Zev, world-renowned counselor and coach, with nearly 1,000 clients in 33 years, locked up. First-degree assault charges on his kids. I know y'all don't like this. I know. And an obituary. I'm telling you, it's wild out here. Number 2 is priority setting. Priority setting. What are you talking about, Doc? I'm talking about 2 things that's a problem. Number one, when it comes to priority setting, the priorities parents set for themselves. The priorities parents set for themselves. Parents, when you become a parent, your priorities should change. I'm about to go off right now. Your priorities should change, and kids should absolutely alter your life. Your priorities should change, and kids should absolutely alter your life. And if kids have not altered your life, your priorities haven't changed. Your fun, your freedom is no longer priority when you're a parent. Well, Doc, no, Doc, I don't agree. I'm young, Doc. Parents can have fun too. I didn't say you can have fun, but you can't have fun first. Your fun is secondary. And if you never get to it because you got to make sure they're good, then I guess you'll never have fun. I guess you'll never have fun if you really prioritize them over your fun. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about, because some of you felt abandoned as a child because your parents were young and they left you home. And you were taking care of you. You were taking care of your little brother. You were taking care of your little sister. And mama left you, dropped you off with grandma, or left you at home by yourself. And mama was hanging out. Daddy was hanging out. Your freedom is no longer your priority. Your fun is no longer your priority. And while we at it, stop dropping kids off everywhere. Oh, y'all don't like this. I don't care. Salads are dry. I'm going to take this live down anyway because y'all don't appreciate this content. Stop dropping your kids off everywhere. Stop dropping your kids off everywhere. Stop letting everybody spend the night with you. Stop letting them spend the night everywhere. Stop letting them spend the night everywhere and dropping them up. Some of y'all will do anything to get out of town. Your next door neighbor just moved in and they got kids, your kids, and you literally go across the street and be like, will you watch Johnny? I wanted to go out of town. I wanted to go on a date this weekend. I was just wondering if you could spend some time with Johnny so I could get some free time, girl. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Now, y'all can take this whatever way you want to. My kids know this. For me to take my kids and let my kids stay anywhere, you got to be exceptional people. Because the likelihood is that my kids' friends are going to be at my house more likely than they're going to be at somebody else's. Y'all might not like that. Thank you, Tab Z. I appreciate you. Y'all might not like that. But I'm telling you, it's going to be more likely they're going to be over here than my kids going to be over there. With few exceptions. My kids have great friends who come from great homes. Because the people they call friends, I met them. You're not about to hang out. I don't care if they just come pick you up ice cream. Y'all go to Dairy Queen. Anything can happen in that car. I don't play. Do you know how many of y'all got damaged at a sleepover? Y'all really don't want me to deal with this right here. Do you know how many of my clients got tore up at sleepovers? Got tore up because mama dropped them off at grandma's house and their uncle was there. Y'all don't know how to talk. And here y'all are, still just dropping your kids off and prioritizing your fun. Your fun and freedom don't count no more when you got kids. Yeah, you can have fun and freedom. Y'all see, Doc, you travel, you go on holidays. My kids are well taken care of. Are you kidding me? You think I'm gonna just drop my kids off anywhere? No. Because if they're not with their mom, then they're with my parents. They're with her parents. We don't play that stuff. Ain't no passing the kids around. Y'all figure it out stuff. I'm gone. No. No. And some of y'all even talking about your uncles and aunts. It's the truth. And cousins. It's the truth. Y'all better be careful. When you are a parent, your fun and freedom are no longer a priority. And while I'm on it and talking about priorities, parents, can y'all do me a favor? Can you stop letting your kids look worse than you? Oh, y'all, I'm just on number 2. I told y'all getting, I'm hitting everybody tonight. Can you stop letting your kids come out the house looking worse than you? Because nothing annoys me more than to go to the mall or go to the store. You got your hair done, your nails done, fellas. You got a fresh lineup. You got on fresh J's, and your kids look like they just climbed out the pig pen. You got on red bottoms. They ain't got no shoes on their feet. And then you wonder why kids grow up very selfish and self-centered. Why? Because all their life they had to scrap for everything they got. You was busy looking good and not making sure they look good. I like that somebody said on TikTok, and come to school looking a mess. Now you go to work, you sharp, you go to the club on the weekend, oh, you sharp, but send your kids in school and everything. Just whatever. Just throw something on them. Hair ain't done, no haircut, no nothing. Doc, I ain't got no haircut money. Yes, you do. Didn't you get bottle service last weekend? Ain't bottle service at most clubs, ain't they gonna start about $800? You ain't got no money. Oh, you went to Dubai. How you go to Dubai, but you can't get your kid a $25 haircut? So we talk about priority setting. Parents, you got to set priorities. Number 1. And then number 2, you ready? Parents, I'm still in priority setting. The second challenge, parents, the priorities you teach your children to set are important too. You got to teach your children how to set some priorities. Let me help you. Yeah, because, and that's somebody saying something about the Beyonce uniform, and that's a really good point. Because if I go to one more of y'all's pages and you got pictures of you dressed like Beyonce at the Beyonce concert, but then I scroll down and see a picture of your kid and they got on a dirty t-shirt, I'm going to report your picture as spam. I'm gonna report your picture. I'm gonna report your picture as spam because that's what it is. Spam. You look like spam and got the kid looking like spam. Let me help y'all. Let me take this parent priority thing a little bit further before I get on kids and priorities. Let me take this a little bit further, even down to where you worship on Sundays, Saturdays, temple, mosque, whatever you do. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all are more into worshiping God than raising your kids. Y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say. You ready? If you love God more than taking care of your kids, you out of order. Oh no, you don't miss a service. You don't miss a convocation. You don't miss a church trip. You don't miss none of that. But barely show up at your kids' events, barely talk to your kids, barely support your kids, barely engage your kids. And you think you're doing a great job because you love the Lord. You out of order. In fact, you're worse than an infidel. Don't have to like it. I don't care. Your first priority is not God, it's your family. That sounds so bad. Doc, are you telling me God's not important? Of course, I'm not saying that. Some of you serve other things. Again, I got clients from all across the globe. I love it. Called to heal the world, not just who y'all like. So get over it. I'm called to heal the world, not just who y'all like. But what I'm saying to you is, if you serve in this God you claim to serve, you understand order. That your spouse comes first. If you got one, then your kids. And if you ain't got no spouse, your kids. So your priorities as a parent are out of order, and you are teaching your kids how to have wrong priorities too. Let me explain. Because many parents are teaching a very broken reward system. Now, y'all not going to like what I say. I don't care. I told y'all this was Machete Monday. Thank you, Tamara Forte, wherever you are. Y'all not going to like what I'm about to say, but many of you are, as parents, have given your kids a very broken reward system. Hey, TikTok, like the video. Let's get this on 100K. Come on, 15,000 more. You know why? Because your kids make C's, D's, and F's, and they got the newest Air Force Ones on their feet. Your kids fail in tests and grades, and they got the newest Jordans on their feet. Your kids in 4th, 5th grade can't even spell graduation and got the iPhone 16. And this is a mess because we don't teach kids how to earn anything. And when you don't teach your kids how to earn anything, Doc, I didn't have anything growing up. Doc, I just want to give them everything I didn't have. Great. I get it. I understand. My parents were excellent. I'm blessed to have been doing as well as I am, young as I am. But doggone it, my kids gonna earn what they got. We don't teach kids how to earn stuff. We don't teach kids how to be independent. Not at all. And I mean independent in every way. How to clean their own room, how to take care of their own responsibilities. Many of you got kids right now in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I know parents who got kids in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they still taking care of them. I have clients that deal with this. I have clients that deal with grown kids that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they taking care of them. They're absolutely taking care of them. And that is because we have not taught kids how to set priorities. Well, doc, they can't take care of themselves. They don't have a high paying job, but they got a cell phone. This is going to sound crazy to y'all. You ready? I figure if you don't have the job you want, but you can afford a $1,200 phone, you don't need a phone. If they can't afford to do whatever because they don't like the job they got, they don't make a lot of money, but they can afford a custom suit or to take a trip to Miami for the weekend, then they can afford to pay rent. And here many of you are bailing your grown kids out because you ain't taught them how to be independent. I'm not talking about helping them every now and then. I don't like that narrative. I don't like this narrative that your kids turn 18 and you're like, you're on your own, get out my face. Because that's also very toxic and it's also very broken. No, not at all. My goal, when my kids turn that age and they move on, and my goal is for them to go with cash. To go with a stack of cash so that they get a great start. That's what we should do as parents. This whole idea, you 18, get out my face, don't ask me for nothing. I'm not saying that. But some of you, your kids 30, 40, 50, 60. You ain't taught them how to be independent. But yet and still, they driving nice, they eating nice, they dressing nice, they do buying nice, and then they need you for rent every other month. Something ain't right. Oh, wow. We have your back, doc. We are African first generation medical doctors listening to you at the unit. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Wow. I'm serious. This is not right. So we don't teach kids how to earn things. We don't teach them how to be independent. And you know what we do, y'all? A lot of parents guilt trip their kids. Let me talk about this real quick. When you don't teach your kids how to set priorities and you guilt trip your kids, this is big. Guilt tripping your kids can make them people pleasers. What does that mean? Well, if a kid doesn't do something you want them to do, or they're not involved in something that you want them to do, or they don't choose a sport you want them to choose, or they grow up and choose an occupation that you would not have done. So you guilt trip them, or you guilt trip them for being independent and trying to live their lives and trying to save their own money or doing what they do. And you guilt trip them, or you guilt trip them because they're older and they don't call you all the time. And you guilt trip them, you make them into people pleasers. And this is why many of you are people pleasers, because your parents, when you were little, used to guilt trip you when you did not do the stuff they wanted you to do. And there's a better way. Teach them, don't guilt trip them. Is this making sense? Who was this? Vilo, was that question for me? Vilo 985. Was that for me? Are you taking care of them for the bad parent? That wasn't for me. I know that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. Are y'all listening to me? So let me give you the result of priority setting. When we don't set priorities or teach our kids how to set priorities, let me tell you what the result is, because I'm giving you the result of every challenge. And hopefully some of this is resonating with some of you as you think about your own behavior. You know what the result is of not priority setting with your children or teaching your children how to priority set? You know what the result is? The inability to establish what is important. Your kids, you will grow up with the inability to establish and identify what is important when you're not taught how to set priorities. So most parents take care of their grown adult kids because of the parent. Gotcha. Yes, sir. No, I couldn't agree more. Follow. I couldn't agree more. Like, You end up taking care of your adult kids. And Vilo's right. You take care of your adult kids because you didn't parent them when they was kids. So you take care of your adult kids. Mm-mm. Help, I get that. My parents, listen, my parents were golden. I get it. You come out of school, you had never lived on your own. And this is why I tell young people that I engage with, I've engaged with all around the world, that when you've never had your own place, kids want to hurry up and move out and they want to get their own place. But let me tell you something. You've never had your own place. You've never paid rent. You've never paid utilities. You've never paid gas. You've never paid groceries. You've never paid car note. You've never paid these things. And you get out on your own and you've never had to do it. There is a cadence to paying your bills. There's a cadence to taking care of yourself. And if you don't have that cadence down pat, it can take you some time. It's like taking off an airplane. That thing gonna wobble a little bit. It can take you some time to get the cadence down. So good parenting, in my mind, is preparing your kids to be independent. It might mean supporting them while they get stable. I don't think anything is wrong with that. But there's a big difference between supporting them and teaching them versus just supporting them and you ain't teaching them nothing. Because then they become 40, 50, 60, and they still run in your pockets. So the result of bad priority setting is that you raise adults who have the inability to establish what is important. Y'all supporting the show? Hey, TikTok, we 2,000 away from 100K. We low tonight. Let's get it there. Let me give you challenge number 3. Y'all support the show. I got 3 more challenges, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, it's about to get real good. Ava, good question. Could you suggest a good book or resources that help with what kids need to learn, as in broken down into main topics or areas? I'm struggling with that. I was an only child and was never really prepared to be a parent. Ava, I'm working on my book recommendation list on Amazon, and my goal, I will promise to try to get that together this week. I've got a list. I got a ton of books that I recommend, and I'm sure I've got one. One that comes to mind is called "The Trophy Kids Grow Up." It's a really good book. Um, that I read many years ago. It's called The Trophy Kids Grow Up, and it talks about something we're going to talk about in a little bit. So that's a good book, but I'm going to work on that reading list. No, thank you, Ava. I appreciate the question. I'm going to work on that recommended reading list because it's something I've been putting off. So when I get this downtime this week, I'm going to try to incorporate that. Okay, I just wrote it down on my to-do list. I appreciate that, y'all. Challenge number 3. You ready? Here's a third challenge that I've seen when it comes to modern parenting. You ready? Your relationship examples. Your relationship examples. Whether you married or you single or you're a single parent. Whether you're a single parent or you married and you have relationships with friends, whatever, or even your relationship with your partner, your spouse. You know what becomes a big challenge well, you know what a big challenge is in modern parenting today? Relationship examples. And I mean everything from who you choose. I mean everything from who you choose to how you engage with them in front of your kids. Who you date and marry matters when you're a parent. I'm especially, this segment right here is especially for single parents, but let me tell you something. It applies to folks that's married too with kids, because some of y'all married with kids and your spouse is not a good example for your kids. And you stand there in the name of the kids when you really doing more ruin to the kids for staying there for the kids. Well, I'm staying for my kids. I'm just staying in this because I'm staying for the kids. And they're a horrible example to your kids and a horrible example to you. Your relationship examples matter. Who you date matters. Who you marry matters when you're a parent. And I'm going to just keep it a buck with you here. I'm not going to even spend a lot of time on this, but I am going to run my mouth here for a couple of minutes right here. Y'all, let's minimize the number of people your kids meet when you dating them. Can we minimize that number? Can we minimize the number of people that your kids date when you marry? I've given y'all this order before. I'm going to give it to you again. If you are a single parent and you're going to date and you're interested in getting married, if that relationship is serious and you think you guys are getting to that point, the first people you should introduce them to are your brothers and sisters if you have them. Let me give y'all the order again because I gave this on a live before. Your brothers and sisters are the first stop. Doc, I'm a single child. I'm an only child. Well, you ought to have some friends. Start there. You know why? Because introducing them to your brothers, sisters, friends that are like brothers and sisters, serves as a good initial buffer to see if they can advance to the next level. Your brothers, your sisters, maybe your cousins, that kind of stuff, they're going to know the tone and temperature of you and your kids and going to be able to be like, Doc, I don't think she'll go good with them. I don't think she will be a good fit with them. Start there. That's layer one. Layer two, if it's serious, this is only for serious relationships, go to your parents. That's layer two. Go to your parents. So they pass the test with your brothers, sisters, your friends that are like brothers, sisters, etc. Then go to your parents. Why? Because like your kids, you shouldn't be flaunting everybody in front of your parents either. Now, I know y'all don't agree with that. Some of y'all met them. Some of y'all met them 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, and you want them to meet your mom. And your mama getting confused because you didn't escort it all kinds of folk in front of your mama that your mama can't even keep track of who. I know y'all don't like this. I know y'all don't. I don't care. This stuff ought to be taught in home economics classes in high school across the country, across the world. It's brother, sister. Hey, Tamara, there you are, Machete Monday. I've been shouting you out all night. This is Machete Monday. Thank you, Tamara. That'll meet your brothers and sisters first. They pass that, then to your parents. And then when they pass that, and this is a solid person that you guys are talking the next level, then go ahead and bring your kids in. Now, I'm going to tell you, personally, I wouldn't even introduce that layer until we're having serious conversations about marriage. We've discussed what living together would look like. We've discussed our similarities and differences on raising children and the 5 areas of healing, all kinds of stuff. And we've proven to ourselves that we have agreement there. Our brothers and sisters, our mom and dad are in alignment. At that point, you 90% there. Then you can bring your kids to the table. Little Johnny and Susie should not meet your partner until it's time to bring the ship on in. Y'all ready? You ready? Some of y'all meeting folks and letting them spend the night over your house 3-4 weeks later with your kids there. Oh, y'all don't believe that, do you? Support the show. I'm starving over here. I ain't seen no salads in a long time. Oh, yes, y'all do. Some of y'all literally be meeting folks and be letting them stay with your kids at home. Your kids that met them too. Kids met them, and kids know they staying over there. Y'all think I'm not making this up. This stuff is based on the data that I have. Doc, how you come up with these 5 things? I just thought about challenges that I hear with clients when they talk about parenting and how that impacted them. And even my young clients, I've got young clients as young as 9 who talk about what mom and daddy doing. Yeah, daddy got a new girlfriend. Daddy bring girls over all the time. When I'm with daddy on the weekends, then we don't spend time with each other because his girls come over. When a 19-year-old telling you stuff like that, I know y'all don't believe me. Y'all think I'm making this stuff up, don't you? It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really, really sad. Introduce these folks to your kids last and let your kids be the last line of defense. They should only meet the people that you are incredibly serious about. And if it doesn't work out and they met your kids, but they've gone through all those other layers, you can teach your kids how to bounce back from that. Because you should even guide a healthy attachment between them and this person. You don't even want to let them get overly attached until things are just really swiftly moving in the direction where you're going to finalize everything. You shouldn't meet them, and then because they get along, then all of a sudden they picking them up from school. Y'all going on vacation? No, 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 no. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. And this is why y'all not gonna like what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. This is why I don't think living together is a good idea. It's not. I don't think living together, if you're living with somebody that ain't your husband and wife, and especially if you got kids, it's not a good idea. Mm-mm. Nope, not a good idea. Nope, that ain't what your girlfriend's gonna tell you. That's not what your guy friend's gonna tell you. That's not what your boys gonna tell you. They're not gonna tell you that. It's not a good idea. Because if y'all can do all of that, and all of y'all in the same house with the kid, y'all might as well go ahead and get married. Well, Doc, I don't believe in marriage. You believe in everything else associated with it. I'm just, I know, I know. I'm gonna just leave that alone. Y'all, you know what the result is of bad relationship examples? Let me give you this. Y'all recording this? And listen, I'm not, let me be clear here. I'm not pro making folk get married because you got kids. Let me just say this. Because some of you might be thinking, well, okay, Doc, then what if the person I'm dating is my child's father or my child's mother and we live together? Then what about that? Look, I am not pro making people get together or marry because they have children together. You can have children with someone, but just because you have children with someone does not mean that person is your husband, is your wife. Now, y'all can sit up here and be deep and grand all you want to, but the reality is you ain't slept with every person that was wife or husband worthy. Every person you slept with was not husband and wife worthy. And that even includes the parents of your kids. So I'm not one of them that says, oh, because y'all got kids, you should get married. A lot of people believe in that. I've seen people force people to get married because they had kids. As if doing the do, smashing, and being married were the same thing. They're not. So I'm not one of them that's saying, hey, you all got kids, y'all got to go get married. I'm not saying it. But what I am saying is this. Y'all did all of that. You got the kids there. Y'all living together. Y'all got 2, 3, 4 kids. I've had situations with clients. Lord Jesus, have been with folks 10, 11, 12, 13 years, got 3, 4 kids from 1 to 7. Been together 13, 14 years. and got all of this drama between them as a couple right in front of their kids, living like a family. It's dysfunction. And I'm just not a big fan. It's fine. I can be called anything from a simp to old fashioned. It's fine. It's just not a good idea, y'all. Y'all better revisit this idea of living with folks before you marry them. And I get it. I get it. Some of you weren't taught this. Some of you weren't raised this, but you better revisit this idea. Because especially when you have kids involved, it's a lot more dysfunctional than you think it is. It's a lot more dysfunctional than you think it is. Dragging your kid from house to house or letting people come in your house with your kids in there. It's wild. Looking like old boy from Baby Boy, Daddy's Home Boy. The dude singing Daddy's Home, standing in front of the stove naked, fixing your mama eggs. He ain't got no clothes on. You don't even know who the man is. I'm telling you, man, this stuff happens in real life. This stuff happens. I'm serious. This stuff happens in real life. Y'all, when relationship examples are bad, let me give you the result, because I've been giving you the result of every single challenge I've given y'all. When relationship examples are bad, here's the result. There's a loss of tact and increased diminished awareness of shame. When we don't teach our children healthy relationship examples, there's a loss of tact, meaning knowing what's appropriate, what isn't, and an increased diminished awareness of shame, which means they don't really, kids grow up with an unhealthy relationship with shame because you don't have a filter around them. They've seen it all. So if a kid's grown up and seen multiple guys in his house or multiple women in his house, he doesn't have a lens for shame because you've been filterless. Y'all, this number's just been stuck right around 450 tonight. Why are we ain't up to 700 for this? There's a whole lot of parents saw this topic and they did not want to log in tonight. I don't blame them. There's a whole lot of people saw that flyer today. Was like, nope. I'm gonna catch you next time, Doc. I don't blame you. Watch the replay if I keep it up. All right. Challenge number 4. I got 2 more challenges. Y'all with me? Oh, this is gonna be good. So I'm giving you 5 challenges with modern parenting and the results of that. So you guys have a lot to think about. Challenge 1 was the desire to be their friend. Challenge 2, wrong priority setting or priority setting. Challenge 3, relationship examples. Bad relationship examples. Challenge 4, you ready? A 4th challenge with bad parenting or modern parenting today is an unhealthy relationship with entitlement. Many of these parenting styles are supporting an unhealthy relationship with entitlement. I got a solution for that, Coach Sean. I'm gonna announce that at the end, brother. Because the reality is, this is why some of your kids need to consider therapy. Now, y'all not letting your kids consider therapy counseling because many of y'all don't want it. It's kind of hard to send your kids somewhere that you don't want to go. But if you know your life is broken and you're not in this healed space and you're not making the best decisions, not only do you need to go to counseling, coaching, therapy, you need to send your kids someone too. Y'all, this unhealthy relationship with entitlement is serious. Let me give you my definition of entitlement. Y'all know it's custom, right? Let me give you my definition of entitlement, and it's so simple, but it's a banger. You ready? Record this. Y'all put it in the chat. Let me know if it makes sense. Here's my definition of entitlement. This is the way I define it because it's the easiest way that it's helped me to help parents understand what this word means. Entitlement, a false sense of ownership, belonging, or worthiness. Entitlement, a false sense of ownership, belonging, or worthiness. Entitlement, a false sense of ownership, belonging, or worthiness. That's one of the most basic definitions of entitlement I could ever think of. It is a false sense of ownership, belonging, or worthiness. So when we talk about this unhealthy relationship with entitlement, what we're saying is, I need y'all to stop lying to your kids. Can we stop that? Let's stop lying to our kids. About what, Doc? About everything. Stop lying to your kids about everything. Some of you are fostering this notion of entitlement in your children's lives because you are creating in them a false sense of ownership, belonging, and worthiness. How are you doing that? You're doing that by not telling them the truth. Now, I hear you, the loveliest Leo. What about Santa Tooth Fairy? I remember me and the kids' mom, boy, we flipped out about 2 years ago because, well, no, let me not say that because my kids sometimes they pop on TikTok. Let me shut up. Let me just shut up. I can't answer that question, loveliest Leo. I can't answer that. Now, I ain't got no problem with kids believing in Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, Santa. I know some of y'all, based on your religion, some of y'all don't believe in that stuff, Christmas tree. I ain't got no problem with kids believing in the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, all that stuff. You know why they believe in your fake hair? Nobody, no, you never fussed at them about believing in your fake hair and your fake lashes. Your BBLs. Nobody fussed at them about that. So if they were forced to believe that, they can believe that other stuff too. Fellas, nobody, fellas, you didn't force them to believe that you was a stand-up father when really you weren't. And they had to grow up disappointed and see that you wasn't. Why y'all not supporting the show? My stomach growled. It's a whole lot of fake stuff these kids done had to believe in. And y'all want to draw a fit about Santa Claus and the Christmas tree. I'm just saying. So let's not do that. Let's not do that tonight. Okay? Stop lying to your kids about what? About everything. Let me give you some examples of stuff we lie about besides what I just mentioned. Y'all be lying and tell your kids that they always win. You're a winner. You always win. You're going to always be a winner, Johnny. The reality is sometimes Johnny isn't going to win. Sometimes Johnny isn't going to be the best. And sometimes Johnny's going to come in last place. And Johnny needs to know what it feels like not to get a trophy and be in last place. This is important. How do you keep the balance because of different types of parenting and doesn't cause strain? I think I understand your question, but it's just really about balance. You do keep balance by mixing it. We talked about this earlier. There has to be this fine line between love and correction. And when there's a balance between love and correction, truth is always in the middle. Truth is in the middle. Love's on one side, correction on the other, but truth is in the middle. So truth helps us to approach our kids in a very balanced way. Stop lying to your kids, y'all. Stop telling them they always win. They don't. They not always be a winner. Sometimes they're gonna lose. And stop letting them rejoice over them little fifth place trophies. It ain't nothing to be proud of. Stop letting them rejoice over these participation trophies. I'm serious. My kids know the drill. My kids knew the drill when they started sports 5, 6. I had a nice little talk with them. I never forget my son got his first little participation trophy because age 5, under they got the little small goals. They don't want nobody's feelings to be hurt. So at the end of the year, they put all the teams out there, and every team got a trophy. And my son ran over to me and said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, you like my trophy?" I said, "Son, we'll talk when we get in the car." We got in the car. I said, "Son, listen. Daddy love you, right?" "Yeah, of course, sir." "Yes, sir." "Hey, son, there's such a thing as winners and losers. And if you don't get first place, you lost. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just doesn't mean you were the best in what you competed in." So I'll never forget it. When he was 6 and under, they did the same thing, except this time my son was really good. He got good real fast. And they did participation trophies. And I remember, I believe I even have the video. I think his mama sent it to me. I remember when they gave Four a trophy, they called his name. He walked up there to get the trophy. He looked at the trophy, looked at me, and just walked back to the line and just held the trophy down by his side. They took the little group picture. He came over to me. He said, "Daddy," "this trophy don't really mean nothing, man." It was 6. Now, some of y'all say, "Doc, I don't think that's a good idea." I don't think that's a good idea, Doc, because you're gonna make him, he's not gonna understand what it means. Well, yes, he is. He's gonna understand what it means to win when you earn it. Y'all stop lying to these kids and tell them they always a winner. Now, sometimes you're a loser. And some of my greatest, let me tell y'all something. I would not be here right now tonight, y'all listening to me, if I had not endured some losses. Are y'all listening to me? Stop babying and coddling. Stop babying and coddling these kids and teach them how to lose. Stop lying to your kids. Stop telling them they always win. Here's another big one. Stop telling your kids they deserve it all. I know many of y'all telling them because y'all walk around like you deserve it all. And I've said this before in my lives, especially when talking about the 5 areas of healing: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. The reality is you don't deserve it all. You deserve what you work for. You don't deserve it all. Stop telling your kids you deserve. "Hey, Susie, you deserve it all. You're just a princess. You deserve." She might be a princess. Little Johnny might be a king. They don't deserve it all. I literally, where were we? Where were we? I think we were at one of the kids' programs. Kids' mom and I were there. And somebody showed off. A parent showed off because, when you got school awards and you got hundreds of kids, it's easy to forget somebody's award or something. It's easy to do that. And I remember one of the parents showing off. I remember one of the parents showing off because her son did not get a participation certificate like the other kids. And it was purely an oversight. He wasn't the only one. It's like 2 or 3 kids. The teacher got it mixed up and forgot to print them. And this lady of one of those kids, I guess the other parents were cool. I didn't see them. But a mother of one of those kids waited for that teacher to come down off that stage when that program was over, and was over in the corner fussing with the parent for forgetting her child's participation certificate. Y'all ruining these kids with this whole idea everybody win. Y'all ruining them. You're absolutely ruining them. And they get that stuff because y'all got, and let me tell you why many of you have that mentality. Many of you have that mentality because if the truth be told, you've never really wanted anything in your life. Oh God, this is gonna be so bad. When you've never really won anything in your life, you have an unhealthy relationship with winning. And when you have an unhealthy relationship with winning, then that translates to your children. You will try to live vicariously through your children. So you've never had any awards. So your kids get a participation thing. And I mean, I was even talking to, I think it was the kid's mom. We were talking about this. I was talking to one of my friends about this too. Like when my daughter graduated, no judgment. Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but I don't care. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like what I can. I don't. Y'all don't have to like what I'm about to say, but I don't care. When my daughter graduated from fifth grade, fifth grade graduation, they're going to middle school. They have a big graduation. I put a couple pictures on my story, whatever, big thing. Giselle looked great. Whatever, she did really well. Great awards, all of that stuff. She had actual awards. Really good student, all that stuff. Her mom, I think, bought her a balloon or two. I had a bouquet of flowers, and we took her and her mom, myself, and my parents, her parents, one or two of her mom's friends. We all went, and Giselle. We all went out to just a little basic restaurant that was in town. Food won't even $100. It was a whole bunch of us. What? Just a base little restaurant, and that was that. But get this, there were parents there. You would have thought that their kids just graduated from Harvard. What I miss? What I miss in Instagram? What I miss? Oh, come on. Not somebody with a blessed thing in his that comment right there. You would have thought the kid graduated from Harvard. The guy, her daddy could barely walk in. 2 or 3 bouquets of flowers, about 10 balloons. I'm serious. Some of us are living vicariously through our children. Thank you, Inspire Nation. I know. The person who talks about God is talking about a girl he had. Isn't that crazy? Buford Balling is talking about God in his profile picture and a girl he had. Ain't that crazy? These be the same religious nuts that be showing off at schools. Don't even take care of their own kids. Ain't that wild? Come back, Buford. Let's play. Y'all, let's stop teaching our kids this stuff. You know why? Because when kids have an unhealthy relationship with entitlement, here's the result. You ready? The result is poor boundaries and very low self awareness. Y'all writing this down? Come on. Poor boundaries and very low self awareness. Yeah, I ain't kidding you. Like that parent, because I was astonished. We walk, yeah, we gonna get down the road. We gonna take her to we got a big cookout plan. All her uncles, everybody's coming. It's about 100 people for a fifth grade graduation. A fifth grader has a 100-person cookout. I ain't seen a whole bunch of certificates in her hand. Y'all, it's called overcompensation and living vicariously through your children's life. It is. And y'all can't do that. Does this make sense? It's a whole lot. I told my little princess, We rolled on back. Dad is very proud of you. She's very proud. I say, this is a great day. I said, but you got a whole lot more graduations left. Make sure your room is clean. When we get in the house, make sure your room is clean. And, enjoy the rest of your day. Daddy came back down here. It was a Friday. I had a call. I had a call like 15 minutes after I walked in the house. It was business as usual. I'm serious. We got to stop that. Challenge number 5. We do. We have an unhealthy relationship with entitlement for real. And we really put this on our children. We got to stop this. All right. Because again, the result is poor boundaries and very low self awareness. Challenge number 5. Here's a bad challenge. Here's a 5th challenge, and I'm done. Hey there, Miss Cheryl. When we talk about top challenges in modern parenting, number 5, how we communicate with our kids. How we communicate with our kids. How we communicate with our kids. And I'm talking about communicating with them in both words and actions. Because sometimes you ain't just communicating with what you say. That's a big part. Some of you don't talk to your kids well. Either you always big sweeten them or you're always screaming at them. There's no balance. There's no middle ground. You're either really, 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 really nice and gentle all the time, or you fuss every day, all day. And you got to have a balance of both. You got to be able to be sweet and correct at the same time. Appreciate that, Brother Christopher. Good to see you again. You got to be able to make it make sense. You got to be able to balance this at all times. If you're a parent that's always fussing, you're going to have an unhealthy communicative relationship with your parent, your children. And if you're a parent that's always loving and kissing on them and petting them, you're going to have an unhealthy relationship with them as it relates to communication as well. And Lord knows you shouldn't be screaming and cussing your kid. Y'all, I have clients who literally curse their kids out. I've had to correct them. How are you going to be on a healing journey cussing your kids out? How? What you healing from? Now I get it. You have to be, especially when you're a single parent, whether you're a man or a woman, you have to be the hot and the cold water. You have to be the fire and the ice. But it shouldn't be all fire and it shouldn't be all ice. It has to be balanced. Somebody said, I call my husband James from Good Times. It's gotta be it's gotta be balanced. Right? It's got to be balanced. Okay? This is important. Say what you mean to your kids, mean what you say. Some of us, y'all, because this one's a big one right here. Thank you so much, China, for the salad. They have stopped supporting me, and I'm gonna take this live down. I'm gonna make everybody mad. Y'all, when you are talking to your kids and communicating with your kids, let me tell you something. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Y'all stop going back on the stuff you say to your kids that you're gonna do. How you get kicked off, Ash? How you get kicked off of IG? I don't know how that happened. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Some of y'all are so inconsistent with your kids that I'm going to talk about what it results in a second. But your inconsistency is really wounding your kids. Your word matters to them. I try not to make promises to my kids that I can't keep. And if I cannot keep it, I give them a detailed explanation of why I can't. And it's got to be an extenuating circumstance, which is why I'm slow on what I promise them. I'm very slow to it annoys them because they want me to commit to stuff. You know why they want me to commit to stuff? They want me to commit to stuff because they know if I say I'm gonna do something, then they know I'm gonna do it. And they try to get me to commit to all these great grand stuff, and then when I don't, Daddy, but Daddy, you said you would have. I'm slow to commit. I'm slow to commit to stuff for them. Let me tell you something else I'm good at. Y'all better get good at this. I'm serious. You better get good at under promising and over delivering. Now I know y'all see my kids living a great life, but you ask them, "What's up, Overseer Antonio?" I'm serious, man. I'm this. You ask my kid. You better be good at under promising and over delivering, because nothing blows a kid's mind like under promising them and then you over deliver. They think you just walking on water. But what y'all do is y'all over promise and under deliver. You over promise, you under deliver, and then they don't ever think they can depend on anything you ever say. It's important. College age daughter who refuses to respect my curfew. Should I make her move? Are you paying for college? This is especially important for grown kids. Grown kids that you're supporting in college, if they can't listen to you and respect your orders and expect the things that you put in place, including breathing, and even if they got a free ride, then they need to find a free ride and get a free house. If they're living with you and it's your place, it is your rules. Y'all, you'd be shocked at the number of client calls I have with parents who are dealing with college age and older kids who are literally running the house. Absolutely. Now I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But you better do what you got to do. I'm serious about this. We have to set solid boundaries even with our children. We have to set solid boundaries with our children. Yes, that's not good, Butterfly. She said, is it okay that I tell my child that I don't make promises? That's not good. No, you make promises because you need to teach them what promises look like, feel like, so that they have that expectation going forward of what that looks like, not only from other people, but what they can be to other people. I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to make promises even to people around your house or around in your life and be able to honor those and what that does as it relates to integrity and honor, right? Honoring promises teaches honor. And that's another challenge that we have with our kids. We don't teach honor. We don't teach things like honor. And I think that helps to build that. But y'all, under promise and over deliver. Say what you mean what you say. If you tell them you're gonna punish them because they got their grades wrong, and you're gonna take away something, and then they get home and they still got it, you keep on doing that, they'll never believe a word you say. I don't care if you said it and thought to yourself, I should not have said that. You better go through with it anyway. Yes, support the show. You better go through anyway. Before you go back on your word, stick to your word. This is important whether you're a parent or you're planning to be one. I'm telling you, kids don't forget. And especially if you're a good parent. If you're a good parent, boy, I don't care. I could be, y'all, there were times my kids have self-awareness because I've taught them self-awareness. I taught them self-awareness. In fact, when the pandemic hit in 2020, we had our first conversation about self-awareness. Honesty about who you are, where you are, what you're doing. So they understand self-awareness at 10 and 11 better than a lot of adults. But let me tell you something. Recently, I wasn't feeling well. I can't remember, it was a few weekends ago or something. I wasn't feeling well. And when they went with their mom, I was home and I was in bed all day on that Saturday and part of the day Sunday. And when I got them back, I remember my daughter, she found out from her mom that I wasn't feeling good. And she was like, Daddy, because we went somewhere that Friday. I took them somewhere because that's what it was. I took them to the movies. They went to go see that movie. What's the movie? The popular kids movie that talks about emotions and managing emotions. Uh we went to go see that movie, whatever that movie was. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Inside Out. And I wasn't feeling good, but I took them because I promised them. They took some. I said both of them could bring a friend. They both brought a friend. I promised them that early in the week. We went Inside Out too. We went there. Well, the next day I was in the bed all day. They went to them. I was in the bed all day. They didn't even know. And the mom told them that Sunday. So Giselle was like, "Daddy, why didn't you tell me you were sick?" It's like, I wasn't supposed to tell you, was it? She was like, "No, sir. I mean, you weren't supposed to tell me, but we went to the movies and we did all this stuff, and we didn't have to do all of that if you were sick." You know what that taught me? That was the greatest compliment she could have gave me. You know why? Because it said to me she was self-aware. It wasn't one of them situations where, "Oh, you sick? Oh well, we want to go to movies." No, it was a reflection of the fact that she had been taught self-awareness. That had she known, that would have been probably the appropriate response. But she also learned another thing. What else she learned, y'all? She learned that if daddy say he gonna do something, guess what? Daddy's gonna do it. And I'm here to tell all you parents, here's a result of poor communication, and I'm done. One of the greatest results of poor communication, not honoring your word, not saying what you mean and meaning what you say, etc. One of the greatest results of this, broken trust. Some of y'all don't trust people right now because your parents, you couldn't even depend on them. They said one thing, did something else. I mean, sick. Sick as a dog. Sat in that movie theater and watched that movie. It was a good movie, by the way. But you absolutely inspire broken trust in your children when you don't honor your word. Y'all don't log off. I got two big announcements. You're going to be glad you did. Y'all, did this make sense? I'm done. I fussed at y'all for 2 hours, almost 2 hours even. April said I'm almost asleep. This makes sense? Huh? I got two big announcements. But I need you to support the show. I got two big announcements, and I need you to support the show. Let me get this stuff moving. Hold on. I got two big announcements. Oh. Two big announcements. So, announcement number one. Y'all support the show. Have you supported? Have you supported the show? Because I got two big announcements. Let's talk about these real quick. Give me 5 minutes and then I'm done. Okay? I got two big announcements. This makes sense tonight? Come on, y'all fill it up with hearts. Let me get some talking music. Let me get some talking music. I got two big announcements. This is big. At least I think so. Two big announcements. Y'all liking the video? I need you to like it. Share the video quickly. I'm doing something. I ain't forgetting y'all. This makes sense tonight? Fill up with churches. Support the show. I would truly appreciate it. Good. All right. Okay. Let's see. Wait a minute. Y'all, my computer's moving slow. Bear with me. All right. Good. That's right. There, and all right. So tomorrow, My books go live noon Eastern Standard Time. Noon Eastern Standard Time. I'm taking new clients tomorrow. It is probably the last time I will take clients for the rest of this year. New clients. I will have individual packages as well as individual sessions for singles, couples, as well as packages, which are very popular right now. I will have both of those available, and you will be able to at noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow to get on. Now, look, y'all, the last time I opened my books in May, late April, May, my books were filled again in 2.5 hours. Okay, they were filled in 2.5 hours. So if I were you, I would set your alarm. I'm going to be traveling because I'll be out of town this week, but set your alarm so that you can get access to it because this is going to be powerful. All right. Okay. So that's um tomorrow. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's July the 16th. Okay. That's number one. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Okay. That's tomorrow, the 16th, noon Eastern Standard Time. Hold on, y'all. I'm checking one more thing. Bear with me. Okay. Good. That's right. So let's do this. Okay. Um, let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. My computer's going so slow. I apologize, but this is very important. I couldn't really. So that y'all knew this. Books are going to be there. If we book, can we do it for a later date? Yes, they will be. My soonest availability, you will see, is um, my soonest availability is September. I don't have anything in August. I've got a few dates in September. So as the books are going to be pushed out all the way through the end of the year. Um, and yeah, so noon Eastern time is what Central. That's 11 Central. That's 11 Central. Okay. Here's the other announcement. I couldn't wait to announce this for real. This is big. All right. Um, I promised many of you that I wanted to do a group work for kids because I am working and meeting a lot of young people. My background, my work is actually in higher education. So I love working with young people, but I'm working with meeting a lot of parents who have kids who want to be engaged in this space. And I am doing on August the 5th and August the 9th, I'm doing my first group work for kids. Okay. I'm doing my first group work for kids. And this is going to be big because I'm doing it in two different sessions. I'm doing a session for children 8 to 12, and I'm doing a session for children 13 to 17. Doc, what are we going to be talking about? I'm going to teach them a cognitive reframing technique that helps them to manage their emotions. This is going to be powerful. All right. Limited seating. and it's only $39 a kid. So it's limited seating. I'm not going to do a big group. It's going to be via Zoom. And this is going to be major, especially for the future of my work. Yes, August the 5th, August the 9th, a special group work for kids, how to process your emotions. Kiki talking about some, I'm 17. How to process your emotions. Sign your kids up. This is going to be big. I've got school principals that have asked me about doing this at their schools. I think some of them are going to try to tap in somehow. I'm having conversations about doing this across the country with kids because this, in my opinion, is the future or the wave of this work, my work. That in fact, we can fix the future by teaching kids today how to process their emotions. So listen, you got kids that are having a hard time processing stuff. They've been labeled as angry kids, mad kids, whatever, short-tempered kids. Let Doc have them for 60 minutes, okay? It's going to be a group setting. I only ask two things. One, I need them to cut their cameras on. They can mute their cameras. They're not going to have to talk. And all they're going to need is a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. That's it. Okay, a piece of paper and a pencil. That's it. You got to register every kid. Only $39. And this is going to be incredible. I'm telling you, this is the wave. Will you be doing this in the far future, like 8 years? My baby is still a baby. Yes, I'll do that in the future, Shell. This is going to be great. And I'm just being honest with y'all. 5, 6 years from now, this is the wave of my future. I see myself in schools, elementary schools, taking my practical ability to teach kids things that are complicated and teach it to them in a way that they can understand it. That's a gift that I have. It's natural. It's a God-given gift. So this is going to be powerful. Your child, ages 8 to 12, ages 13 to 17, is going to be able to learn how to manage their emotions. Y'all, how much further would we be? The support line's in the way. How much further would we be if we had learned this stuff at ages 8 through 12? How much further would we be if we had learned this stuff ages 13 through 17? So I'm telling y'all, the link is up. I just put it up. The seating's limited. It's got a cap. I'm not going to take more than a certain amount because I do not want it to be overwhelming, but I want all the kids to have a chance. And listen, I'm doing this so fast because they're getting ready to go back to school, right? And so I wanted to try to get this in. I wish I would have done this probably a month ago. It's been so very busy, y'all, but I promise you guys I would do this. So life design group work for kids, August the 5th, August the 9th, right before they go to school. Give me 60 minutes with your kids. I'm going to teach them how to manage their emotions using a practical cognitive reframing. Cognitive means brain. I'm going to teach them a cognitive reframing technique that's going to teach them from here on out how to reframe bad experiences in their life. This is a game changer, and I'm excited to be able to teach it. And so the links in my bio, they're active. I just activated everything. Have them sign up. Let's do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this really, as if you can't tell, this really has me stoked. For real. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. And I'm excited about this. So you better get your seats for the kids because it's going, once it's gone, it's gone. I told my kids about it today. They're with their grandparents and cousins. And they were like, really, Daddy? I'm like, yeah, they're up. So they told their cousins, and the cousins like, oh my God, sign me up. All right. Kid, this is going to be a big hit. This is going to be a big hit with kids. Kids are a lot more advanced and open to this stuff than adults are. And part of that is because they have access to so much more information. And so I appreciate you, Akua. And so kids are really going to be open about this. I'm going to make sure that my friend Alyssa that I met in Cabo knows about this too. She's already told her parents she wants to work with me. So I'm telling you, these spots are going to fly. Sign your kids up. The links are active. I want to work with your little person and teach them how to manage their emotions. It's going to be powerful. Yes, I'll take a 7.5-year-old. If they're not 8, I'll take a 7-year-old Just make sure that you feel comfortable with them being in the session. And by the way, because you're parents, I don't want you on the screen, but if you want to be in the same room, by all means do that. I don't have a problem with that. It just depends on what kind of relationship you have with your children. You may want to be in the same room. You don't have to be, but it's totally up to you. I do not want you on the screen with them. Don't be a helicopter parent. Okay? I don't want you to be a helicopter parent. All right? So don't be a helicopter parent. But yes, if they have ADHD, anxiety, depression, they've been diagnosed with these things, give Doc a shot. I would love to have a shot at them to just work with them. Okay. Looks like the link is working for everybody else. I don't know what's going on. B3NNI. It's definitely working because people are saying I just signed up. Okay. Yes, you can. No, how am I going to do the recording thing? Yes, if you RSVP, I will record it. Okay, I will record it. Let me make a note of that because I hadn't planned on doing that. I'll record it, but what I have to do is it's going to have to only be focused with me. I don't want anybody's children on the recording. Okay, so I can do that, and that way your children, if your boys can't make it or they're going to be gone, then they can see the recording. Yes, you can have both of your boys on, but you've got to cover a seat for both of them. You can't do a 2-for-1. All right, you cannot do a 2-for-1. All right. This is August the 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a Monday and it's a Friday. And this was the only time I could try to get it fit in before school. Depending on where you live, your kids may already be in school at that time. But I just wish I would have thought about this sooner because I would have done this much sooner. Okay. All right. So yes. And by the way, thank you, Miss Humble. I had a couple of people when I mentioned this on group work who said they would be interested in sponsoring kids, right? Maybe they don't have kids on their own. Maybe they just want to be a blessing to someone else. And so if you are interested in sponsoring a kid, when I post this tomorrow, I want you to drop it in the comments and we're going to go ahead and match you up with people that might need the sponsorship. Y'all do me a favor. Just make sure you really need it. Okay. If you don't really need the sponsorship, I want you to open it up. I want you to leave that open to somebody who really needs it, okay? So y'all be honest about this. We got to go on an honor system here, all right? Yes, pass it to your co-workers, your friends. If you've got friends that are teachers, if you've got friends that are principals, assistant principals, pass it to them. This is going to be a game changer, and it's absolutely the wave of the future where my work is going, okay? Because I'm going to be in classrooms across the world teaching 7th, 8th, 9th grade. No, I'm sorry. Teaching 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds how to manage their emotions. All right. So you can do it through the links in my bio. If you go to the links in my bio, you can sign up there. The dates again are August the 5th and August the 9th. August the 5th is for 8 to 12-year-olds. August the 9th, 13 to 17-year-olds. Okay. And that's that. Now, don't forget about tomorrow. My book's open tomorrow for new clients. And that opens at noon Eastern Standard Time. Those links will be active on my page. You can do that there. We can go from there. Yes, you can pay for your great niece, your grandchild. It doesn't matter. You just need to register them, right? You have to register them. And I work at a group home of girls from 32 who could use sponsorships. I think this would be great. Yes. If you've got that special need, please list it on the post. I'll do what I can to try to make those connections. I think that's great. Kudos to all of you that are interested in doing that. When we buy, we will be RSVP. Yes, you will purchase, and then it's going to give you a receipt that gives you a link that you'll need to RSVP them to as well for the Zoom link. And it's all in the information, okay? So this is going to be great. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I ran this way too late, but I couldn't wait to get that announcement out. That's a big deal. And I'm really excited to be teaching and talking to your kids really soon. Again, that's August the 5th. August the 5th, 8 to 12-year-olds. August the 9th, 13 to 17-year-olds. First group work I've ever done with children. And it's going to be teaching them how to manage their emotions. They don't have to talk on the camera. I know kids can be camera shy. They think I got to talk. That's the first thing my kids say. Are you going to make us talk? No, I'm not going to make y'all talk, but y'all going to sit in on the session. And so they don't have to talk. They don't have to do any of that. They just need something to write with and a piece of paper. That's it. But I'm doing my first group work, the first of many with kids, and I'm stoked about it. All right. So this is going to be fun. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Calendar goes live for new clients tomorrow, July the 16th, noon Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be great. Peace and blessings. Have a good night. Thank you for everything. Bye now. See you.